Grab your popcorn as we recap the tale of the Black Bloody Mary. Lena narrates the urban legend of Bloody Mary to her friends.
In a dark room, you light a candle, then say her name 3 times in front of a mirror.
Bloody Mary. She looks into your soul, and if she doesn't like what she sees, then she snatches you into the mirror.
According to Lena, she will scratch the summoner's eyes out. Bloody Mary can even see your future and can provide you guidance on how to achieve your goals. Maggie jokingly wonders if Bloody Mary can help her get her ex-boyfriend back. Maggie thinks her and her ex-boyfriend, River, are meant to be together.
Lena teases Bianca by saying she bets Bloody Mary could help Bianca find a boyfriend. Then they all go into a dark room and light a candle. Bianca isn't impressed since she doesn't believe in it.
Before the other 3 girls can say Bloody Mary 3 times, Bianca turns on the lights to interrupt the ritual.
She leaves the room.
Lena tells Elise that she should have never brought her little sister. Elise goes after her sister and is pissed that Bianca embarrassed her in front of her friends. Elise says Bianca doesn't have any friends, so she should try harder to fit in with hers. Elise is sick of Bianca always tagging along and not playing with their games. Elise hands Bianca a shot of alcohol so she can loosen up.
Then tells Bianca to join them on the ritual.
Bianca is still hesitant though because she doesn't remember the fairy godmother bippity bopping someone's eyes out like the way Bloody Mary does. The girls all decide to go to separate rooms with their respective mirrors. They all light candles and call for Bloody Mary 3 times. Their flame all goes out, then Bloody Mary appears in front of each girl in their respective mirrors. She says if they obey her, they will get what they wish for. Bloody Mary reaches out of the mirror with her long golden nails as she whispers to all the girls. Everyone is shaken by the ordeal, especially Maggie, who is shrieking in the other room.
The girls go to her and they witness Bloody Mary scratching Maggie's eyes out. However, it was all in their heads since Maggie turns out to be okay. Maggie wonders why they're all screaming. Then Bianca rushes out with Elise following her. Elise tries to calm Bianca down.
Eventually they all talk about what exactly happened. Apparently, Bloody Mary told Bianca to accuse her guidance counselor of taking advantage of her in order to get a full-ride scholarship to Yale. Lena was ordered to drop her cheerleading captain from the top of the pyramid in order to paralyze her and become cheer captain herself.
Maggie was told, in order to win back River, she has to post River's girlfriend's nude photos on the internet.
Elise wants to be rich and was told to her, but she doesn't complete her sentence.
Everyone except Bianca think it was all fake and a hallucination. Bianca thinks Bloody Mary will be coming after them if they don't follow through. The 2 sisters end up going home. However, they find their mom getting intimate with a man. She kicks the 2 sisters out of the home and the 2 girls end up staying the night in a car. Bianca tells Elise she really wants to get into Yale so she can get out of their bad situation.
Elise says she can get into Yale without Bloody Mary's help.
However, Bianca says thousands of people apply and never get into Yale.
The rejects just end up living a life of mediocrity. When the 2 go to sleep, Bloody Mary can be seen watching over them in the side mirror.
While walking in the hallway, Lena and Elise say they didn't get much sleep last night. Then Lena's cheerleading captain Anna reprimands Lena for not dressing accordingly.
She then jokes it might not be a bad idea to drop her after all.
During their physics class, they discuss reflecting and refractive qualities of light.
The instructor ends up talking about how ancient civilizations believed mirrors weren't optical illusions but portals to other worlds.
Mirrors are just the gates to celestial beings. When the teacher goes to turn the board over, a giant mirror is in front of them. The girls start to notice the mirror cracking and Bloody Mary appearing in it.
She says they all need to fulfill the pacts they made with her. Maggie screams in terror while Elise and Lena run after her. The 3 are now under the bleachers talking about how real Mary is, when eventually Bianca joins them. Lena says they have to follow through with Mary's wishes, otherwise they will die. Lena tells them about a slumber party that her mom wasn't invited to when she was in high school.
Everyone who went either died or ended up in a psych ward. Supposedly Bloody Mary was involved. Elise says she will figure out something else so they don't die.
Later, Bianca is with her counselor discussing about getting into Yale.
The counselor says her essay isn't depressing enough.
However, Bianca says her life is manageable and doesn't feel like lying in her essay. The counselor suggests she has an advantage of being black and should use that to apply to Yale by showing she went through rough times.
Bianca says she does so much extracurricular activities and gets straight A's.
As he moves closer to reassure her, he reaches over and gently touches her hand.
Bianca moves her hand out of the way.
Then she sees the counselor being hanged in the mirror.
Meanwhile, Elise does research on the Black Bloody Mary mythology.
She finds a woman named Margaret Worth, a slave catcher during the Underground Railroad. She finds images of Margaret's cabin, which was apparently a cursed cabin. Maggie ends up talking to her ex River. She admits that she made a mistake by breaking up with him. River ignores her, especially since his new girlfriend comes over.
When Maggie is about to close her locker, the mirror inside starts to crack and Bloody Mary appears in it. Before practice, Lena sees a vision of herself dying. Anna then yells at her to hurry up so they can practice. Later, Lena, Maggie and Bianca discuss what happened to them today. Bianca tries to convince them that Elise is working on an alternative solution. Lena can't take it anymore and she thinks the only way to make Bloody Mary stop is to follow through with her orders. Bianca rushes to her sister to let her know what Lena is about to do. So they rush to the gym to watch the cheer practice. Anna jumps up to make the pyramid, however Lena is a bit shaky as she isn't sure if she will follow through with the plan. Elise cheers for her friend to remind her not to go through with it. Lena becomes so frantic that at the last second, she decides to catch Anna. Anna is upset at Lena for almost dropping her. Later at night, Elise shows Bianca everything she's learned about Margaret Worth and her connection to Bloody Mary. She still has to do more research though. However, Elise has to go to work in order to pay for the bills. When Bianca is asleep, Mary wakes her up through a mirror and tells her that she must follow through before midnight tomorrow. Once Elise gets home, she's shocked to see Bianca sitting on the steps traumatized from what just happened. Then suddenly Maggie comes to give them the bad news about Lena's passing. Lena had her eyes clawed out and removed. The next day, Elise goes to a museum to find more information about Margaret Worth. The man shows her the cabin. Margaret Worth's cabin pretended to be a safe haven for any slaves running away from the masters. However, Margaret would subject the slaves to torture and eventually send them back to their masters. Margaret used a young black woman to let slaves know her cabin was safe. We see Mary go into the cabin with her son. Eventually, all the slaves are led down to the basement of the cabin. Apparently, getting sold back to slavery was the best thing that could happen to you if you ended up in Margaret's cabin. When Mary's son is thirsty, she goes to call for Margaret Worth, but they eventually realize that they were tricked. Margaret was suspected of being a witch because of the way she tortured the slaves. However, she wasn't actually a witch. Margaret's body was eventually found in the cabin and the assailant was never found. The man then shows Elise the dagger that ended Margaret's life. It's supposedly a really old dagger that most likely came from Africa. Before Elise leaves, she takes note of where the man places the keys to the dagger's locked cabinet. Bianca goes to Maggie and she finds out Maggie hacked into River's girlfriend's camera roll. Maggie finds a Nuki film of the girl with a different man just taped the other week. Which means River's girlfriend is cheating on him. Bianca says to not go through with this because it's possible the girl might live herself if her tape is made public. Maggie doesn't care because she doesn't want to die. As she's about to post it, she closes her laptop and cries. Later, Elise finds the location of the cabin. She grabs her sister so they can steal the dagger, then head to the cabin. At the museum, Bianca distracts the docent while Elise goes to steal the dagger. After this, they go to Maggie's house. They find Maggie too is passed because of Bloody Mary. The two grieve over their friend and Elise says it's time to stop this for good. They drive deep into the forest to find the cabin. Elise thinks stabbing Bloody Mary with the dagger will end everything. They have to walk the rest of the way to the cabin, so they leave the car. As they get nearer, it gets darker and there are a lot of mirrors hanging from the trees. They don't find Bloody Mary inside the cabin, so they decide to use one of the mirrors just outside of it to call her. Once she's summoned, Bianca tells Elise to stab Mary. However, Mary asks Elise if she's brought everything. Bianca is confused. Elise confesses what actually happened the first time she summoned Mary. Mary had promised her power and money, but in return Mary needs the blood of 3 innocent people and the dagger.
It's revealed that Bloody Mary didn't kill Maggie and Lena, Elise was the one who did.
Bianca would be the third innocent that Elise has to kill.
Bianca is furious at her sister, all because Elise wanted money.
Elise says it was never about money.
Elise grabs the dagger as Bianca runs for her life. Elise has trouble finding Bianca, so she tries to tell her everything.
Mary promised Elise security, fame, money, and power. The ability to never have to worry about anything ever again. Elise eventually hits Bianca from behind.
Then once Bianca's body is in front of the mirror, Elise goes to stab her, but Bianca is able to get the upper hand.
She stabs Elise in the eye.
Bloody Mary begins to explain her origin.
The mirror is her prison.
When Mary was captured, she tried to persuade a young black woman to help them escape. However, Margaret interrupts the plan.
They line up the slaves so they can be sold back into slavery.
The capturers decide to separate Mary from her son, and Mary is devastated about this. Mary looks at the mirror and remembers she is a devoted follower of Mammy Wata, a divine African spirit whom she conjured for help. Mary stomps on the floor, then the ground shakes.
She magically is able to kill the slave capturers.
She grabs the dagger and stabs Margaret Worth multiple times.
In passion, she accidentally kills the young black girl too. Because she killed an innocent woman, Mammy Wata trapped her in a mirror.
As a result, Bloody Mary came to be. Mary still thinks Bianca has a pure heart, so Bianca offers her innocent blood to Mary. Mary drinks the concoction of the 3 innocent blood.
It sets Mary free as she emerges from the mirror.
Then suddenly, Bianca and Mary had switched places. Mary tells Bianca that she is now the seeker of truth.
Bianca is the new Bloody Mary. Bianca tries to break out of the mirror. However, it doesn't break. All she hears is everyone chanting Bloody Mary, calling for her new name. Soon, a young black girl chants Bloody Mary 3 times.
The mirror begins to crack and Bianca emerges from the mirror.
Say it. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.